Right at the top, we've got some breaking news coming in. An army man has shot 5 of his colleagues dead in an army camp in Ganderbal district in Kashmir, and he later turned the gun on himself. This has now been confirmed by an army spokesperson in Kashmir. An army personnel shooting dead 5 of his colleagues in a camp in Ganderbal before turning the gun on himself. So an incident of fratricide that has now been reported from Ganderbal. Shuja ul Haq is joining us on the phone line. Shuja, what are the initial details?
Well, Ruchika, that's right. This is the initial information that we are also getting. According to the sources, at least 5 army men have been killed, and this looks like an incident of fratricide in Safapura area of Ganderbal district. What we are learning is during the course of the night, one army man turned his gun towards his colleagues and fired at them before actually killing himself too. Few others have also been reported injured. That's the details that we are getting from the army sources as of now. More details are yet to be confirmed. But yes, what we are learning is that army has already ordered an inquiry into this matter, and they are finding out what really led to this incident. Remember, these incidents of fratricide are not very uncommon. Such incidents have happened in the past as well, but what needs to be found out is what led this particular army man to actually train his gun on his own men.
Absolutely, Shuja. A deeply distressing piece of news that's coming in from a camp in Ganderbal, an army camp, where an army personnel has shot dead 5 of his colleagues before turning the gun on himself. And as Shuja, you were mentioning, this isn't the first time. There have been several such incidents of fratricide that have been reported, particularly in Kashmir. And it's a chilling reality, perhaps, that has not been adequately addressed. Gaurav Sawant, our Strategic Affairs Editor, is also on the phone line with us right now. A terrible piece of news that's coming in, Gaurav, at this point.
That's right. This is in the Saifpura area in Ganderbal, where this Jawan of the Rashtriya Rifles Regiment shot at 5 of his colleagues and then shot himself. He's alleged to have injured another Jawan in this late-night firing spree that took place. We're still trying to figure out why this happened. The army is also in a state of shock. A court of inquiry has been ordered in this incident. But as you rightly pointed out, one is a chilling reminder of how personal issues of armed forces personnel need to be adequately addressed. But the army has a system in place, and there has been a deep study in why such incidents take place. And the study started early in the year 2000, and it's been upgraded several times. One of the reasons, Ruchika, was soldiers do not get leave on time, and there is a standard rule: if a soldier demands leave, if he has leave, he has to be granted leave immediately. In this particular case, the army says later in the day they will be in a position to tell us what exactly transpired in this incident.
Exactly. We're yet awaiting those details to come out. But as Gaurav was mentioning, this is something that's been a matter of study, but it's perhaps not adequately addressed yet, Gaurav, considering there have been reports after reports of how the army is losing more of its men to such incidents than to militancy-related deaths. So that is something that remains a serious cause of concern for the Indian Army.
It actually does, and here the responsibility lies not just with the Jawans and the junior commissioned officer, the Subedar Sahab of that Paltan, but also with the commanding officer, who's seen as the father of the battalion. One issue with the Rashtriya Rifles initially was that because it wasn't a homogeneous battalion, that is why cohesive feeling was not there, and then that was addressed as cohesive battalions were turned into Rashtriya Rifles and then deployed in Jammu and Kashmir. But clearly in these cases, there are some issues that Jawans, there's spur of the moment pressure, spur of the moment tension. They're in a high octane tension environment where they're dealing with hostile forces. Suddenly something could lead to that. The psychoanalysis happens regularly. They're put to several psychological tests also. But sometimes, the bond breaks, and suddenly an incident like this happens. The army routinely tells us that they're trying to ensure things like this do not happen. Perhaps there will be lessons learned from this incident, which we will be able to share with our viewers.
Well, of course, because these are highly motivated officers and Jawans. What really leads to this breakdown? Of course, there needs to be a deeper study into this. We are awaiting details of this very disturbing incident. News just coming in this morning from an army camp in Ganderbal, where an army personnel shot dead 5 of his colleagues before turning the gun on himself. Gaurav Sawant and Shuja ul Haq, thanks for joining us for now. We'll, of course, be following up this big story with you.